a musician from Senegal playing the West African kora harp. Our rabbit, Binky, had been roaming the living room in search of electrical cords to chew when I fired up the stereo, and the plucked strings of the kora unnerved him. He hid behind an overstuffed chair, loudly thumping a hind foot against the floor until I finally turned off the CD. Subsequent animals cut deeper into my listening hours. Noisy parrots, who were themselves inexplicably sensitive to noise, protested if I played music in the evening while they were soaking up their beauty sleep. Animal concerns eventually restricted daytime listening, too. I needed to keep my ears open for signs of mischief from woodwork-destroying parakeets or for quacks of distress from an outdoor duck that had fallen afoul of its flock. I still loved music as much as ever, but it no longer played the same role in my life that it had in the days before I had reluctantly begun accumulating pets. Back when I was still an apartment dweller, if I found myself unavoidably thrown into a social setting with a stranger, I would quickly worm my musical tastes into the conversation. "We just built a new deck onto our house," a fellow might brag. "Oh, where do you live?" "On Bally High Boulevard." "No kidding," I'd marvel. "Speaking of Bally, are you a fan of Balinese gamelan music? I just got a really good album of small ensemble shadow puppet music." The relentless onslaught of animals changed all that. The quick dart of a question, "Do you have any pets?" usually led to a camaraderie rather than strained silence. Most people owned a dog or cat whose bad habits they were eager to discuss. If the stranger was a harried bird or bunny owner, I immediately considered that person a friend, and if an eye-rolling remark about parrots followed, I would add the friend to my will. But this newfound love of animals perplexed me. If I had grown up swooning over animals, I could better understand my devotion to them. I was as diffident about my boyhood beagle, Muffin, as she was about the family. She wouldn't endure petting unless a snack was somehow involved. I used to tease her using two of the phrases she knew best, "Go for a ride in the car," which never failed to elicit great excitement, and "Get a bath," which sent her scuttling to her hiding place behind the dining room door. "Muffin," I'd address her brightly, "go for a ride in the bath?" Her change in demeanor from happiness to confusion delighted me, as did talking to her through the vacuum cleaner hose or calling her over a speaker that carried my voice into the kitchen while I hid in the closet with a microphone. Oh, those were the days. Now it's our pets that confuse, control, and tease us. This morning, Linda's large African gray parrot, Dusty, blocked my path to the bathroom by squaring off on the linoleum and threatening to chomp my toes. Other times, aiming for a coffee refill, I've been forced to stay out of the kitchen, rather than suffer the consequences of a starling drilling his beak into my scalp. At least our ducks and geese live in backyard pens, though trudging outside to fill their plastic swimming pools involves a trip through the basement, where two convalescing turkeys yip pathetically if I don't coo and hand-feed them grain. Pound for pound, these animals don't add up to much. Dog fanciers with a couple of Rottweilers trump us in terms of sheer biomass. But when it comes to sheer insistence, even the largest, most unruly dogs, or for that matter your average herd of cattle, are no match for our ducks, geese, parrots, parakeets, turkeys, cats, rabbits, and other birds. And over time, I have found myself thinking of them less as animals and more as beings, as little packets of alien intelligence. People who hunt for sport probably never consider the deer or turkey they're about to blast to smithereens as a unique individual, but pat the hunter's hound on the head, idly suggest that one of these days you'd like to bag a dog with a .22, and expect a heated discussion. Viewed from an emotional distance, animals do tend to blend together into an undifferentiated mass, like a crowd of spectators at a football game. Yet even a common-as-mud pet like a parakeet will reveal a vivid personality if you pay close attention. When I was a kid, we kept a parakeet in a cage by itself, tucked away in a corner of our dining room. I regarded it as the essence of dull.